just don't know what to do. I've got this rabbit foot, I know it's working right. I got the strand of your hair I'll keep day and night. I've got my mojo working, but it just won't work on you. I wanna love you so bad, mama, but I don't know, I just don't know what to do.
In case you are just joining us, or have a short memory, or just want to hear it again, you are listening to WEFT Sessions with special guest star Sam Payne. And other than introducing you, we didn't really get to know you, talk about you. So if there's anything you want people to know about you before you do 2-3 more songs, what is the game show contestant 25 words or less description of who you are and what you do?
Well, I'm a folk musician, I guess you would call me. Pretty much from here. I grew up in Tolono, and I have played in a lot of bluegrass groups and old-time groups around town, and just recently started trying to do more of solo kind of thing. So yeah, I host a Urbana Hootenanny, which is normally where I would be right now on Monday nights, but I bailed out to be here. So.
People are always asking me why I don't go to that, and I say, well, if it ever were not when I have to be here, it's not like when you're live on the air, you can miss a week and people don't notice. Well, they don't notice if they don't listen, but if they listen and you're not there, you can't very well make excuses like, oh, I had laryngitis. So my regrets that Mondays are going to be difficult to make it out anywhere.
Yeah, that's all right.
But let me, if I may, because we have very often groups on the show, I just want to double check. Have you played on WEFT before?
Actually, I have, yeah, a long time ago, with the Corn Desert Ramblers.
Okay. Somebody, amazingly enough, at the bank, somebody was just asking me if I remembered that show. And
that was quite a while ago. I don't know how many years now, but it's been a
well.
been a
I mean,
while.
did we meet then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it can't have been that long. I mean, it's been within the past 10 years.
Yeah, but probably 6 or 7 anyway. I think.
Goodness, I'd have to check, but it's relatively fresh in my mind. So, but I remember there being people in every direction, and of course I couldn't look at everybody, right in the eye all at once. So,
Sure.
And I don't know if you had that hat.
Probably not. No.
But it's always nice when people come back solo, and then I don't feel like I'm giving them 9% of my attention. So, do you still play with them?
That band doesn't play a whole lot anymore. We get together occasionally. But.
Well, I'm glad it's dormant rather than extinct.
Yeah, me too.
Well, if you'd like to go on,
Sure,
play 2-3, just wave your arms or be quiet a long time when you want me to rejoin you, and otherwise I'll just stand back and appreciate.
Okay, sounds good.
Sam Payne on WEFT Sessions.
Blackjack never went riding down, whistling so merrily, made the woods all around him ring, and he charmed the heart of a lady, charmed the heart of a lady. Come go with me, my pretty little miss. Come go with me, my honey. Take you where the grass is green, and you never will want for money. You never will want for money. Take off those long back boots, all made of Spanish leather. Put on your low heel boots, and we'll ride off together. Oh, we'll ride off together. That night her husband, he came home just looking for his lady. The maid she spoke before she thought she's gone with Blackjack Davy. She's gone with Blackjack Davy. Well, saddle me up my coal black study, speedier than the gray. I'll ride all day and I'll ride all night, and I'll overtake my lady. Yes, I'll bring home my lady. He rode all night in the broad daylight. He came to a river raging. There he spied his darling bride in the arms of Blackjack Davy. In the arms of Blackjack Davy. Forsake your house and home? Would you forsake your baby? Would you forsake your husband to go with Blackjack Davy? And go with Blackjack Davy. Last night I slept in a warm feather bed between my husband and baby. Tonight I'll sleep on the cold, cold ground in the arms of Blackjack Davy. In the arms of Blackjack Davy. Had a train and he put it on the track. You could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Oh, me and it's oh lordy my. You could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Should have been in town when Reuben's train went down. You could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Oh, me and it's oh lordy my. You could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Should have been in town when Reuben's train went down. You could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Oh, me and it's oh lordy my. You could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Well, I got me a blade, I laid old Reuben down in the shade. You could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Oh, me and it's oh lordy my. You could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. I'm gonna just change instrument.
I'll tell a dirty little secret. One of the reasons we originally structured talking was so that people could now that we have a camera, it gives away a lot of our secrets, but the whole idea is if you can't see that somebody is changing instruments, restringing his guitar, you talk on the radio and it's seamless. So if I just sort of instinctively, if I see somebody is changing equipment, I get in position.
That's good. Yeah.
But it looks
I
like
didn't know I was going to be on TV too.
Well, it's kind of a recent development, but considering that we are only on TV and internet with tonight's show, it's better than broadcasting to oblivion.
My mom always said I had a good face for radio, but
I just heard somebody campaign on that statement. Well, if you're ready to go, don't let me obstruct you.
I'll do some mandolin stuff. Let me see what is left that I knew. Could it be that the old house is gone? Oh, dear friends of my childhood indeed must be few, and I must face death all alone. Take me back to the place where I first saw the light, to the sweet sunny south. Take me home, where the mockingbird sang me to rest every night. Oh, why was I tempted to roam? Take me back to the place where the orange trees grow, to my plot in the evergreen shade, where the flowers from the river's green margins did grow, and spread their sweet scent through the glade. Take me back, let me see what is left that I knew. Could it be that the old house is gone? Oh, dear friends of my childhood indeed must be few. I must face death all alone. To our cottage they say has grown green, and the place is quite lonely around. And I know that the smiles and the forms I once knew now lie in the dark mossy ground. But yet I return to the place of my birth, where the children have played around the door, where they gathered wild blossoms that grew around the path will echo our footsteps no more. Take me back to the place where my little ones sleep, and poor Massa lies buried close by, or the graves of my loved ones I long for to weep, and rest there among them when I die. Take me back to the place where I first saw the light, to the sweet sunny south. Take me home, where the mockingbird sang me to rest every night. Oh, why was I tempted to roam? leave so quickly for Ophelia? Honey, where have you gone? The old neighborhood, it just ain't the same. Nobody knows just what became of Ophelia. Honey, come back home. Was it something that somebody said? Oh, mommy, no, he broke the rules. Was somebody up against the law? Honey, you know I would die for you. Ashes of laughter, the ghost is clear. Why do the best things always disappear like Ophelia? Honey, come back home. Something that somebody said. Oh, mommy, you know he broke the rules. Was somebody up against the law? Honey, you know I would die for you. I've got your number, scared and running. I'm still waiting for the second coming of Ophelia. Honey, darken my door.
Now is probably a good time to do our bottom of the hour ID 5 minutes before the bottom of the hour and say you are listening to WEFT Sessions on WEFT 90.1 FM, Champaign, Urbana, East Central Illinois, and streaming because that's really the best and only way to be listening to us live tonight. We'll be on delay on TV thanks to our camera crew. We need to give you guys more PR. Unless you don't want it. Breaking the fourth wall is always weird. In any event, our featured performer tonight is Sam Payne, and sounded good so far.
Thanks very much.
Anything, try that again. Any info you want to put out there in terms of booking, contact info, releases, upcoming gigs? I noticed your site, I had to laugh because I think it said no upcoming gigs, and of course there's tonight, but...
That should have been on there. I put it on there just this morning. I remembered to do that. But other than that, actually, I don't have much coming up. But I will soon. I plan to start booking a little more aggressively here in the fall and the winter. So folks could visit samuelpayne.net to find out where I'm going to be so that they can either come out and hear me or most effectively avoid me, either one.
I would like to add, it was cool. So many of Mike always tries to link the performer, and it was really fun seeing a link that wasn't just Facebook or, you know, you have your own website, a real site. And that's not to denigrate Facebook or any of these others, but I didn't need an account or a login, or I could just go straight there, and there was no messenger, there was no anything to distract from the information. Picture of you, information, is very user-friendly.
Thanks. I made that myself, actually. I worked really hard on it. I'm totally incompetent about web design, but I figured it out. So
surely must have, because you fooled me.
I nearly threw my computer through the window a couple times, but hopefully it does the trick.
I had a computer like that. It came with Windows Vista, and I thought I hated the computer. And as soon as I upgraded away from Vista, I discovered I love the computer. It was just that Vista's terrible.
I'm a Mac guy, so... Yeah, I'll do a banjo tune here. Cluck-o hen, cluck and sing, ain't laid an egg since way last spring. Cluck-o hen, cluck and call, ain't laid an egg since way last fall. My old hen is a good old hen. She laid eggs for the railroad men. Sometimes one, sometimes two, sometimes enough for the whole damn crew. Go ahead, cackle in the lot. Next time you cackle, gonna cackle in the pot. Go ahead, cluck and call, ain't laid an egg since way last fall. Go ahead, cluck and sing, ain't laid an egg since way last spring. Fields are brown and the corn stalks stubble in the frozen ground. Sun won't shine till the spring comes round. I'm going back home to stay. Home to stay, home to stay. Never more to go away. Home to stay, home to stay. Going back home to stay. Going back home, and I know that you'll be. Eyelids heavy on the windowsill, looking for a sign of these tired old wheels. I'm going back home to stay, home to stay, home to stay. Never more to go away. Home to stay, home to stay. Going back home to stay. I'm going back home to the peaceful quiet and the low dim glow of a street lamp light. Front porch melody to fill the night. I'm going back home to stay, home to stay, home to stay. Never more to go away. Home to stay, home to stay. Going back home to stay. Yeah, I'll do another one. Figure I've subjected the listening audience to enough banjo. I should probably switch back to the guitar. I like to see a boogie right across the floor. I like to do it to you until you holler for more. I like to reggae, but you dance too fast for me. I like to make love to you, you can make me scream. Boogie on reggae woman, what is wrong with you? Boogie on reggae woman, what you trying to do? I'd like to see both of us fall deep in love. I'd like to see you in the raw under the stars above. I'd like to see both of us fall deep in love. I'd like to see you in the raw under the stars above. Boogie on reggae woman, what is wrong with me? Boogie on reggae woman, baby, can't you see? Boogie on reggae woman, what is wrong with you? Boogie on reggae woman, what you trying to do?
We need to have microphones all around the building because you're getting applause in places it's not getting picked up.
Oh, good.
So let's see. No.
Yeah, you caught me at a bad time. I have no upcoming things to
Right.
promote here, yeah.
That was what the no's were about. I was going to say, currently, we've established no gigs to advertise. But if there is
I usually
anything
play at
else,
the Iron Post about once a month. I was there last night and didn't talk to Paul about the next one, but probably toward the end of the month, next month. And
why don't we just remind people about the Hootenanny?
yeah, every Monday from 8 till 11, my friend Dustin Norder and I host an event at the Rose Bowl Tavern in downtown Urbana, the Urbana Hootenanny, and it's a really good time. It's an open stage, so everyone's welcome. Any art form that can be aided by microphones and a stage is welcome, and it tends to have a lot of focus on traditional American music, acoustic music, but anything goes. It's a lot of fun.
Well, you know, we have something in common. People will say, hey, what shows have you been to lately? And I'll say, oh, I wasn't at a show this week. And then I realize I'm at a show every Monday night.
Monday, yeah.
Technically, I'm working, but I get to see local performers, and it's great. And it's not that I take it for granted, but it's easy to lose sight of it when it's just a regular thing. So when you say you don't have any gigs coming up, technically you've got 4 or 5 every month.
52 a year.
So
like that.
don't sell yourself short.
But yeah, come out for it sometime. It's a really, really interesting
Now, just a couple of things. Well, first of all, is it all ages? I know it's a tavern,
it's
right?
21 and over there at the Rose Bowl, which is a little unfortunate because there are definitely some younger folks that would like to come and play, but that's the policy there. They don't serve food. I think that's the problem. Although they do have free popcorn. There's a popcorn machine. There's always free popcorn.
Is it something where if you come with your parents, you can still go?
Yeah, I think that's the case. Yep.
So if Jimmy turns 21 at midnight and his mom and dad live in town, he doesn't have to miss that 11 o'clock performance.
Exactly, yeah.
And we can't give out, unless it's a WEFT fundraiser, we can't give out a cover. But is it no cover?
No cover. Yep, it's a free event.
So you have only the cost of gasoline and
unless you walk or
shoe
ride
leather,
your bike.
yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Well, that means other than me working every Monday night, there's really no reason not to go. Maybe if you have
Maybe
bad
you'll
taste.
get a night off.
If you
at
have
some
bad
point, you
taste,
can
don't
come.
go. If you have good taste, go.
There you go. Yep.
So what's next?
I'll do one. Sorry, I'm a little out of tune. I'll do one I wrote, I guess. I hate to see the sun sink low down behind a strip mall at the side of the road. 'Cause I hate to see all that steel and stone and all the same neon signs every place you go. How in the world can I keep from crying? And the times keep changing all the time. Can't keep up, but Lord knows I'm trying hard not to lose my mind. I hate to hear that lonesome sound of the rain on the windshield and the wheels roll around. And I hate to turn that radio dial and listen to the same sound mile after mile. How in the world can I keep from crying? Lord, the times keep changing all the time. I can't keep up, but Lord knows I'm trying hard not to lose my mind. I hate to read all that news. When the paper boy comes, he only ever brings the blues. And I hate to feel that awful dread. There's a stranger out there that might bust your head. How in the world can I keep from crying? Oh, the times keep changing all the time. And I can't keep up, but Lord knows I'm trying hard not to lose my mind. I'm trying hard not to lose my mind. Thanks very much. To make a look around, met little Sadie and I shot her down. Went back home and I got into bed, 44 smokeless under my head. And I began to think of what a deed I'd done. Grabbed my hat and away I run. Made a good run, but a little too slow. They overtook me in Jericho. Standing on the corner just reading the bill, and out stepped the sheriff from Thomasville. Said, "Young man, ain't your name Brown? Do you remember the night you shot Sadie down?" Well, I say yes, sir, but my name is Lee, and I murdered little Sadie in the first degree, and the second degree. If you got any papers, won't you read them to me? They took me downtown, dressed me in black, put me on a train and started me back, all the way back to that Thomasville jail, and I had no money for to go my bail. Oh, the judge and the jury, they took the stand. The judge held the papers in his right hand. 41 days, 41 nights, 41 years to wear the ball and stripe. Do another one. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. Oh, she wobbles as she flies, but she'll never holler cuckoo until the 4th day of July. I'm gonna build me a log cabin on the mountain so high, so I can see Willie as she goes walking by. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. Lord, she wobbles as she flies, but she'll never holler cuckoo until the 4th day of July. I've gambled over in England, and I've gambled over in Spain, but I'll bet you $20 that I'll beat you next game. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. Lord, she wobbles as she flies, but she'll never holler cuckoo until the 4th day of July. Jack of diamonds, I have known you from old, but now you've robbed my pockets of their silver and gold. Lord, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird, but she warbles as she flies, and she'll never holler cuckoo until the 4th day of July. Thanks a lot. Terribly out of tune guitar here.
If it's cool, I'll just remind people they're listening to WEFT Sessions on 90.1 FM Champaign with Sam Payne. First hour of 2 hours of local music on a Monday night. And unless you want to say anything else, I'll cede the floor. Well, either way.
I'll just play another one. I guess maybe I'll go to the mandolin again.
Well, if it's cool with you, I think I have pretty much said all I need to say until you go into your last song. So I will just tend to housekeeping and enjoying your set.
Okay, well, thanks very much.
Thanks back.
Thanks for having me on the show. Back in the hills of Tennessee, oh, was the sweetest little thing that was ever in this world. Oh, that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Oh, that little girl of mine in Tennessee. I know she's waiting there for me. Someday I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee. She said, you will be sorry, dear, I know, for the way that you've been treating me. But I rambled all around and no other could be found to take the place of my girl in Tennessee. Oh, that little girl of mine in Tennessee. I know she's waiting there for me. Someday I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Someday I'll wander back to that little rundown shack, and that little girl will be waiting there for me. I can see her smiling face waiting for me at the gate. Oh, that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Little girl of mine in Tennessee. I know she's waiting there for me. Someday I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Someday I'll settle down in that little country town with that little girl of mine in Tennessee. Thanks.
One more?
Sure.
I mean, you could do two more if you want. I just figure if this is, for the purpose of the fact that they're showing this on TV, an hour is probably a good ballpark figure.
Yeah, I'll do one more.
The thing is, we don't cut people off on the radio if they're mid-song, so I don't want anybody to feel like because I talked 30 seconds longer about something, I don't like the recap to feel at the expense of something. So let's recap just a few things so that people who've been listening can take away important points, like every Monday, how to say this, when does the Hootenanny start?
8 o'clock, from 8 until midnight
Okay.
every Monday, yeah.
So my self-serving advertisement would be every Monday night at 8 o'clock, you should check out Sam's Hootenanny at Rose Bowl until 10 o'clock when you should listen to my show.
Yeah, exactly.
And that way you can have the best of both worlds, and I am not generously costing myself and my station listenership. But yes, that sounds like, as I said, I would be there. I don't want to say every week because that there's no way to prove that if I have to be here. But I would definitely make a point of, going as often as I could, if not for the fact that I'm on the radio and would probably need to coordinate. Anyway, yeah, go to that. And your website is
SamuelPayne.net. Yeah.
Should we spell it?
SamuelPayne.net.
Yeah, the net is a surprise, I think, because people just assume com, but it is N-E-T. He would know he made it himself.
.com was taken. So.
Yes. Probably some other evil doppelganger, Samuel Payne.
Yeah, exactly.
The one that does anti-folk.
Uh-huh.
So, anything else in terms of records for sale, T-shirts, hats like you're wearing?
No. I forget where I got the hat, or I could tell you, but no, I'm kind of just getting this thing going here. So look out for all that kind of stuff, but just trying to play a little more, and if you check out the website, you can find out where I might be.
Can we take lessons?
Yeah, I teach at the Community Center for the Arts. Mike just yelled from the sound room, can we take lessons? Yeah, I teach
guitar
and mandolin at the Community Center for the Arts in downtown Urbana. I also just started a bluegrass ensemble class there that's been really fun so far. So
you're a wealth of resources.
You can find out about that stuff at c-4a.org. They list all the classes and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoy teaching. That's another great way to share this music with folks.
C-4.
Number 4, yeah. C-4 letter A.org.
Is that linked off any other site?
You could also just Google the Community Center for the Arts and probably find it.
I'm just figuring if people are seeing this on TV where they can't go back, reinforcement is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that doesn't spell anything particularly convenient to remember.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Well, I would ask people if you can find it in your heart to stay tuned for another hour of local music, followed by 2 hours of 1931 and 1932. That is what I will be doing here the rest of tonight. But even if you can't stay up for that, please stay tuned for one more song by Sam Payne here on WEFT Sessions, to be followed by another hour of local music. Thank you, and I look forward to your last song.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show. I'll finish with one. Well, that I want to mention that last one was a waltz by the great North Carolina fiddler Raina Gellert, but I learned it from the great Urbana fiddler Matt Torino, and that's where I learned this last song too, actually. Say, little darling, won't you marry me? Live in the holler beneath the old oak tree. Say, darling, say, in the old oak tree we'll make our home. Never more in this world to roam. Say, darling, say. Say, little darling, if you were mine, wouldn't do nothing but starch and iron. Say, darling, say, starch and iron will be your trade. I'll get drunk and lay in the shade. Say, darling, say. holler neath the old oak tree, say darling, say. Live in the holler neath the old oak tree, baby bouncing on daddy's knees, say darling, say. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Papa's gonna buy you a mockingbird, say darling, say. If that mockingbird won't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring, say darling, say. If that diamond ring turns brass, Papa's gonna buy you a looking glass, say darling, say. If that looking glass gets broke, Papa's gonna buy you a billy goat, say darling, say. If that billy goat won't pull, Papa's gonna buy you a carton bull, say darling, say. And if that carton bull fall down, still the prettiest baby in town, say darling, say. Say, little darling, won't you marry me? Live in the holler neath the old oak tree, say darling, say. In the old oak tree we'll make our home, never more in this world to roam, say darling, say. Say darling, say.